You didn't record his sound or what?
You didn't see that video that he put Jay
Oh.
Gigs as my voice?
Yeah, I saw it, but I thought they were just messing with you. Was it
No.
because they didn't have your voice,
Yeah,
so they had to?
I did a collab with Deadwood, and he messed up and didn't record my audio, so it was just my face. And then he had Jay Gigs come in and do a voiceover for my for my lines.
So you were just there as a model.
Yeah, I was just there. Jay Gigs is like acting like me. He's like,
Oh
hey man, it doesn't matter. It's all about the Dow Jones. Like,
man.
yeah, I got hoodwinked pretty bad.
All right.
All right, but I got your audio. I think we're good.
Okay, let's go.
Hey, what's up? This is Chosen, and in this video, we are on the test server, and I'm going to be covering my thoughts on Astranyx, the Dark Fae, the final boss of the next iteration of the Doom Tower, trying to get you some testing and some thoughts on this as soon as possible. Joining me is going to be my good friend ColdBrew to cover Dark Fae over here on my channel, and then after you watch this down below, I will have a link to ColdBrew's channel where you can check out our thoughts on the Bomber, Bommel, Rhinoceros boss. So we'll be covering both of them for you. But right now, it is time for this discussion on Astranyx, the Dark Fae, so let's get into it. Alrighty, now joined by the homie ColdBrew. How you doing today?
Hey man, I'm doing great. I'm doing great. Trying to figure out some of these bosses on the test server and see how we can beat them.
Yeah, it's been fun. I know we were kind of putting together, getting the teams to work. It was tough to get this one to work on like full auto. It's going to be really tough to kind of make that work, especially with realistic gear. But I got the screen pulled up right now at the team that I finally it was basically the too long didn't watch. You got to kind of manual the waves a little bit for like a minute and get through those, and then you got to get the right rotation to blow up the ads, and then you can just auto it, and it's turn meter manipulation from there, and you're kind of good to go as long as you've got enough accuracy. So that was like the too long didn't watch, but let's go ahead and pull up the kit here. Let me navigate back. We'll go under the info tab, and we'll kind of just do a quick refresher course on the abilities here. Let me scroll down. And boom. Okay, I've got it pulled up. So we've got the A1 is going to be attack all enemies, and then the places the leech. I know you were kind of curious. You were noticing that the leech was kind of popping off during from
On the
your
boss.
Yep, from your from your Lysandra and stuff. Then we got another AoE, steal a random buff from each enemy according to the number of magic champions. So this is the ability that is going to kind of change based on the affinities of things. We've got steal turn meter for each enemy according to the force champions, and we've got 10% for each, and then we've got 25% true fear for voids. I know you were kind of using a void heavy team, and that can get pretty nasty with those true fear. We got, and then we got the spirit, which I think we both agree is kind of the way to go if you were gonna try to do like a sustained strategy, using like Stag Knight and a lot of those really good spirit champions, because healing by 10%, you could even go, what do you think, like a Armiger in Destroy and kind of just slowly whittle away the enemy max HP.
No, I think Armiger in Relentless works better just because he gets those extra turns in, more turn meter reduction, and if the turn meter is low, he's gonna switch to his A2, which is high damage. So it definitely works for this boss as long as you've got something else for killing the ads at the beginning. But I think Spirit is the way to go just because it's the least detrimental to your own self. It's just healing the boss, and if the boss is healing by a little bit, it's fine as long as it doesn't hurting you, and you can control the fight in that way.
Yep. Okay. And then we've got another AoE here. We're going to be attacking all living allies. Will team up to join this attack, and damage increases by 25% for each living ally. So, and then this can get a little bit rough if she steals your allies, and then you get this all allies team up and just get roasted by your own team.
you get one-shotted so easily with this. If you cannot manage to bring down the enemy minions, the boss basically one-shots you, and it's not even funny to watch. It hurts. It hurts my soul.
We've also got banish one enemy champion and spawn a mirror copy of them on Astranyx. This is when she starts kind of stacking up the minions. Places a fear debuff on all enemies. Lots of fear and true fear. And then increase dark energy. You don't want to let that dark energy count get up too high, because then things start getting crazy here with the next ability, which is a passive that places perfect veil, which can be a pain. Like when you're trying to, because when you first get to the boss, this passive is going to place that perfect veil, and so you can't have like your cold heart run in and or not run in, but fire off the heart seeker and reset the turn meter, because you can't target the boss. So you got to deal with the ads first to deal with that veil. But for 3 turns, spawn mirror copies of all enemies onto Astranyx team at the start of the battle. So that's what you have to deal with first. Summon mirror copies of all enemies onto Astranyx's team every time her dark energy gets to 5. So it will redo that ability when you let those stack up. And then also place perfect veil on Astranyx Dark Fate for 3 turns if it reaches. Yeah, so same thing. Astranyx Dark Energy kind of resets after it hits that effect. And then you've got the normal like the almighty passives here that most of the Doom Tower stuff has. So let me go ahead and let me pull up the run here, and we'll kind of talk through the fight. So here we go. Okay, so when it starts, well, you can walk me through your thought process when you were kind of doing your run, and I'll talk about mine.
Yeah, so when I was doing my run at first, I was thinking, okay, I need to have a proper rotation where it resets by round 3. So it can, if I'm gonna do it on all auto, it needs to reset by round 3, so I can have every single cooldown available immediately. And it's very hard to do that on auto unless you work that team over and over. And wave 2 makes it a lot difficult to have a magic champion as your nuker to clear the waves. It's going to be inconsistent because of the weak hits, and it makes it so that you need to think twice before taking in a magic nuker to clear it if you want consistency with this team. And that's where the most difficult thing was for us. And I think we went into round 2 saying, okay, we got to manual this and go into round 3 fresh and just work the boss that way.
Yep, and I'll restart mine here. Well, it's not letting me. Okay, there it goes. Okay, so yeah, similarly to what he was talking about, what I did was I just auto the first stage. I clicked on the Siffy to kind of target her a little bit, but not a big deal. The waves are 100 times easier than the boss typically. Then for wave 2, what I'm doing is I'm letting my auto play until Trunda nuked. Then I'm going to undo auto, and I'm just going to spam A1s. That's all I did from there on out. Once you get a couple kills, it's a lot easier because the allure is going to get a lot more value once things are dying. She'll keep a higher percentage of the enemy turn meters gone as they are falling over. So I take it off auto pretty quickly, about 15-20 seconds in, and then I just spam a bunch of A1s on the enemies to make sure I get to the boss with things off of cooldown. Then when I get to the boss, I can mostly auto. It's as long as I got the rotation, the speed set up where I will get the waves down and then let my cold heart slam the heart seeker. So you can see I get to the boss right now. We got Lysandra, we got the defense break, and now we're gonna have Trunda nuke. So, and then the Heartseeker comes in to get value and slam into the boss. So you gotta kind of get the rotations to line up. Once you've got a team in pretty good gear and you've dealt with the minions and you get to the point where you're suppressing the turn meter, it's just kind of easy street autopilot from there.
Yeah, definitely agree with that. I did try, using the same team that you did, went through with it. I used Royal Guard in it. Royal Guard is great for this role, but as I said, he's gonna have issues with Wave 2, so you won't be able to use this team on auto. Wave 2 is gonna be hard for Royal Guard, but he helps a lot on Wave 3, which is the boss. He has that A3 that applies decreased speed and turn meter reduction, plus his A1 with the decreased defense, A2 with the big max HP, damage. Royal Guard can be huge there, and even Armiger worked there for turn meter control, and he worked just fine. I think you can even use double Armigers in here instead of Allure, but they have to be fast. They have to be pretty fast. The same way Allure is, but yeah, they definitely have to be fast for the control to be there.
Yep, and I'm letting my run play so people can see it. And I will pull up the stats, but it was looking like as far as hard, and remember it's it's gonna be difficult. Like it is the last floor of the Doom Tower on hard. Like it's gonna be difficult. There's really not much of a way around that. You're gonna have to have good accuracy, good speed, to kind of hit those thresholds to make it happen. But I was trying to get to about 350, 360 accuracy, and that was mostly good. And then for my speeds, like my allure and stuff, like 240, 250, somewhere in there, right?
Yeah, pretty high speeds, at least for this, and even with Alessandra there in the lead that I was using, it means even higher thresholds if you don't have Lysandra,
Yep.
which Lysandra brings in so much here. She brings in that A2, which is Terminator control, A3, which is both a Terminator boost and Terminator control, plus the lead, plus the transfer of the leech, which helps a bit with healing if you get attacked. Lysandra is pretty big here, and that's unfortunate for the time being. For our testing that we did, it's like an hour testing, so
Yeah.
it's
Lysandra is like god of god tier on this boss for sure.
on this. Yeah, she definitely carries the team.
And she even has the
Like
aura. She's even got the aura to make your whole team, to make it easier to hit those speed thresholds. So like Lysandra's literally, and she's Spirit Affinity. Like she's
yeah,
literally designed for this boss.
yeah. I was exactly thinking about this with Spirit Affinity, not just Lysandra. Lysandra is
Yeah.
yeah, we said it. She's perfect, but I was thinking maybe Spirit Affinity nukers is the way to go for this boss to have some consistency.
Mm-hmm.
Because of Yannicka. I'm thinking of Yannicka from the clan shop. I'm thinking of Cleopteryx. She's going to be a spirit nuker. So I'm thinking of those as champions needed uh, for this boss to have a proper team that does not get any weak hits on wave 2, which is force. And then on the boss, you'll be able to clear it as well.
Yep, and I know we had kind of a similar team. I can pull up my allure. It was 250 speed, 251, and then 355 accuracy. That's like the main thing you need, because once you get in the rotation, but like you said, if you don't have the Lysandra, if you don't have the speed aura, you don't have the you're gonna need like some sort of speed boost, turn meter boost to help you in that rotation. And then you need to be hitting these thresholds of like 250, 260 something speed with 350, 360, 370 accuracy if you want it to be a consistent run. But the nice thing is, when you're talking about like the final stage, you really only have to do it like once. So if you really need to like just spend a couple million, swap some gear in and get it done, manual it, just bite the bullet for 20 minutes, manual it, swap the gear around. The nice thing is that last stage, you really only got to be able to do it one time.
Yeah, that's the thing. But on the other hand, if you really want that improved savage gear, lethal gear, is the name I think. You gotta find a proper team that can farm it 16, 15 times a day.
But my point was like you could go down to, what is it, like floor 80? Like you could farm floor 80 and still it won't be quite as crazy. It would still be hard, but you are absolutely right. It's going to be nice because that lethal set is insanity. For anybody that doesn't know, it's basically just a buffed up Savage set, which Savage is already a top 10 set, and they're buffing the Savage set with the new lethal set that is going to drop from Dark Fae. So yeah, you are going to want a good team. It's worth it. It's worth investing in these champions. It's worth trying to get those gear thresholds ready to rock, and worth trying to put something like this together to be able to farm Dark Fae, because lethal is going to be one of the absolute best sets in the game. Probably top 5, right?
Top 3 for sure.
Yeah.
For sure, especially for both arena and dungeon farming. If you can get a proper set, then yeah, it makes it so much easier to get to that 100% crit, and you get your nuker to even higher stats.
Yeah, even for like speed runs, you get like seers, you get them in a lethal set. It's easier to get that crit rate, blow up those waves, ignoring all that defense. You've got spider strategies with Septimus, Royal Guard, nuking down Spider 20 in 10 seconds. It's going to be amazing for that. Faction Wars, you're trying to do those speed runs during Clan vs. Clan. Who wants to do Faction Wars 45 times a day or 45 minutes a day? It's going to be nice to be able to speed run some of those level 20s and stuff. And yeah, it's going to be a god tier set that you're going to want to put in the time to make a team work. So Yeah, I think that's about gonna cover it for our first testing here. Unless you've got any final thoughts you want to make sure we really hone in on, but
Yeah, I think we covered the most important thing, which is control. This boss needs a proper control team where you have control established from the first turn on wave 3. And it's going to be tough to make a proper rotation through it. It's going to take a lot of testing, and depending on everybody's roster of champions, it's going to be tricky to not do it on manual and have it in an auto team.
yeah, it is gonna be really difficult to. I think maybe the other boss, the other bomber, will be a little bit easier. I mean, it's gonna take good gear, but it might be a little easier to get a full. This one's gonna be tough to get a full auto setup. I think doable for
Yeah,
sure. Doable for sure,
I,
but
I I think both of the champions are going to be tough. The first couple of weeks, and then a proper team will be circulating
yeah, once
somewhere.
once the power of the gaming community and you get, millions of players out there, or at least thousands, trying different builds and stuff, yeah, there'll be things that kind of emerge. But for us personally, this was our thoughts on what was working kind of best here, trying to get you content as soon as possible on our testing. This is kind of the findings we were having, and you can see on screen what was kind of working best for me as a turn meter control type of team. So all right, ColdBrew, I appreciate the insight, and thanks for, I knew bringing you along, I would have the armature testing covered, so I appreciate you on doing that. ColdBrew's over there like, oh wait, I'm using armature. He's crushing it. He's doing he's doing good, which he is actually amazing. The Spirit Affinity, turn meter control. He's just as good as Coldheart,
Yeah,
in controlling this almost. So,
yeah,
all right,
definitely agree.
all right, brother. Thank you for stopping by the channel. Have a good one.
Thanks, man. You too.
Alrighty, so that is going to do it for this one. Again, huge shout out to my good friend ColdBrew for taking the time to join me and give his thoughts over here on my channel. Remember, down below in the pinned comment and the video description, I will link to our thoughts on Bommel, the Bomber Rhinoceros, over on ColdBrew's channel. So definitely check that out as well over there. The link is provided below. So that'll do it. Thanks for watching. Have a good rest of your day. Peace.